G'day folks, and welcome to episode 19 of Gourmet Shed. No, it's not raining, but this can be very handy for modelling supplies. I'll show you what I mean. G'day folks, now what we've got here is some struts, metal struts out of umbrellas, and you can see that they're a U shape, and I thought these might make guttering for Superquick kits and or Metcalfe kits, because usually in those kits they just give you a strip of cardboard to use as guttering, if you get anything at all actually. So I'm going to have a crack at turning possibly this one into a bit of guttering, because it's thinner than this one here, and these have come out of umbrellas, and umbrellas can be a great resource. They also sometimes offer up these little linkages, which could be quite useful for model railways as well. So don't throw anything away, folks, before you consider what practical use it might have for your model railway. Anyway, let's go to work on this guttering and see how we go. Now the problem with model guttering is that putting an end on it, and I've come up with a method here which uses electrical tape, just a piece of electrical tape, and I'll just cut myself a section of that off, and then we'll turn it back over again like so and get it to stay there hopefully. And what I'll do then, I'll just get it to stay there. I'll get the piece of umbrella strut and I just push down on it onto the sticky side of the electrical tape, so it's stuck to it in effect. Now to keep that there, I'm going to get some super glue, so I'll just grab that. Okay, I've got my super glue and I'm just going to put a drop into the channel here, so that it runs down. There we go. So it runs down and pulls against the electrical tape. Now I'm just going to get a strip of paper I've got here to help soak up some of the excess. It's a bit fiddly. And it's soaking it up, and we'll leave this to dry. Right, now that it's dry, I'm just going to cut off the excess tape with a sharp blade, and I'm pushing down hard against the cutting mat using the strut to just pull away these excess pieces until we get it down to something resembling an end. Okay, we're getting there. Now I just then very carefully start to work the knife against the tape and forcing it long ways against the tubing, and peel off the excess with the knife. Yeah, it's a fairly delicate operation, but if you use a sort of a sawing action, you will get there. Just got that one little piece hanging off the end here. Got him. Now I think if I get close enough you can see, if that's focusing. No. Hopefully you can see that. That's the end of our guttering. Now it just needs to be measured against the model, and this is going to go on a sidewall, so I'll need some plastic on the other end. Right, what I did was I cut it just a tad oversize, and then I ground it back, or you could file it back until you get the good fit that you want, which is, for me, it's about there. So that's pretty good. So all I have to do is fit another end onto this, and I'm in business. And then of course then we paint it to your desired colour. Right, I've got that end done, and now we'll just check the fit again, make sure it's right. Yep, looking pretty good. So all we have to do now is paint it. Much easier to paint it while it's off the model instead of when it's on there, and that'll transform that, I think. Right, I've got it painted now, and I'll just leave it there to dry, and when we're ready to go, we'll fit it onto the model, which is just probably 3 spots of super glue in the channel, and then push it up under the end of the roof, the eave, and it should hold it there. So we'll just wait until it's all set to go, and then we'll come back and fit it onto the model. Okay, we're fitted now, folks, so that's the end of the story for that one, and hopefully the others will go just as well. I'm sure they will. Now it just needs some downpipes and all that sort of thing, but as you all know, that's a piece of cake. Just get some wire and bend it to shape, and we're in business with that. Now, while we're on the subject of enhancing these models, by the way, this is a Metcalfe station that's had a complete makeover. That's a whole other subject, so I won't go into that now, but what's missing here on this porch, I suppose you could call it, is some posts to support the roof. Now, I have come up with a system to create these posts, and what it is I've used a bicycle spoke. Now that's the spoke there, and obviously I've cleaned it up a bit, and I've ground a bit off the bottom of it so it sits nice and flat. And what I'm going to do is create 2 of these and paint 2 of these and use them as replacement posts. The kit actually came with cardboard post, which was very, very fragile and just looked pretty ordinary. So I did a sort of a test on one, and I'll grab that and I'll put it in place and show you how they come up. Right, this is one I painted earlier, or a few days ago actually, and it looks pretty good as far as I'm concerned. Actually, I think the other ones I've done will look better than this. I've ground the base down a bit more so it sits better, but that's the general idea anyway. There's going to be 2 of those. There's going to be another one over here, so, and I think that will improve the model greatly. And of course, you know, once we've got the guttering along here as well, it should look like $1,000,000. So there you go. So that's 2 things for you today, folks. Yeah, bicycle spokes and umbrella struts. You never know, do you? Well, folks, I think you would agree this comes up pretty well, considering what it is, you know, and it's not a great deal of effort to actually put it together. Requires a little bit of skill, I think, but you know, overall it's not too bad. I mean, when you consider, I'll just grab something here. Here we are. Now this is an old Superquick kit, and I've given this one a bit of a makeover. It's had scale seams brick paper put along the bottom. You know, I've done a sign for it and everything. This roof is completely new, and I've done tile strips on there, and just to give it a bit more of a better look. But one of the things I did was I added guttering to the front here, replaced the old guttering which was just cardboard and dyed, and this again is cardboard and a bit of wire here for a downpipe. Now that's improved this model remarkably. However, I think with the other type of guttering it would look even better. So you know, we learn these things as we go along in life, and thankfully we do learn things as we go along, and it just makes the whole thing better, I think. So give it a go. Try the umbrella. I think you're better off buying some of the small fold-up ones. You can get them at $2 shops for about $4. Now there's a contradiction. $4 in a $2 shop. The one I used was actually out of a golf umbrella, but fortunately it had thin struts, and they vary from umbrella to umbrella. So just have a look at things, and before you chuck that one out at home that's busted, have a look at it and see if it's any use to you. The bigger struts, the wider struts, could be actually good for O-gauge, don't know. So just have a look and see what you've got, folks, and don't throw those umbrellas out, they might be useful. Okay, I'll see you next week. Cheers, Gormo.